ladies and gentlemen, with joy in our hearts and with gladness and with noise, make it out for
Mr. Kunle, G. Kunle Soriyan. Please put your hands together.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I have so many things to say, and I have a short time to say. But the first thing I would like to say is to show a lot of respect and understanding of the kind of commitment that has made today happen. The easiest thing to do when you have success in your life is to focus on the kind of experiences and comfort that comfort can give you. When you have the time to pause and to take a second look around the goodness around you and to allow that goodness to instruct you about the kind of responsibility you must offer for those coming behind, that is strength, that is character. And that's what Pastor Femi Paul has done by choosing to be strong and making this platform happen. So what I want you to do is to put your hands together for him, for the organization, for Excellence in Life, and because you must go out of your way to salute this kind of efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, you are supposed to be articulating today ideas about the culture of excellence. I like the way we have put it so well today, because in some other constituency that I also belong to, the word culture will have been replaced by spirit. And if you have the spirit of excellence, you will have mystified the simplicity in the idea of excellence, and you will have made it unnecessarily complex. Because the truth, guys, is that excellence is not a spirit. It's a culture. And there's a big difference between those two definitions. If you call it a spirit, then it becomes something we have to be gifted with. If you remain a culture, then it's something that we can learn. And that makes all the difference. For those of us who are Christians, we find comfort in the ideas in a very big book in the Bible that was studying and articulating the life of a gentleman called Daniel. And part of the utterances around that existence of that man Daniel was that he had an excellent spirit. For reasons of religion and for so many unguardedness, a lot of people interpret that verse, read it like Daniel had the spirit of excellence. But there's nothing that says so. What is written is that he had an excellent spirit. The word excellence there was a necessary word to define the awesomeness of his life that they cannot explain. It doesn't mean that the spirit working in the life of Daniel is excellent. It's more than excellence. Excellence is not anything grand that we need a superior force from heaven to articulate. Anybody with a human choice and with a human will can manifest excellence. Excellence is in jail. I hope you know. There are people who were very excellent yesterday who are in prison today. There are people who controlled excellent organizations yesterday who are in jail today. WorldCom is gone. Arthur Anderson has disappeared. There are so many great institutions that have gone today that are no more. Big, colossal organizations. Even in our country, Oceanic Bank is gone. Are we together? So many banks, like Continental Bank is gone. These were colossal organizations that you tried to get a job in, that your elder brothers tried to get a job in, that the people you love and you respect tried to identify with. The people who work in those organizations some years ago were the kind of people we want to become, the kind of people we want to be like. Those companies are gone today because essentially prevailing force does not define the character of excellence. There must be something superior that defines what excellence is all about. And if we think that excellence is something you can manifest that fades in your life, then you have to take a second look about at what you have understood. I speak to you today as your brother because I may say some things that will get you angry as usual. Take it, cheat it up, suck it up, enjoy it, love it all the same. Because I have a choice, I don't have to be here. You understand what I'm saying? So if I've chosen to come here, I should at least owe you and supply to you the truth of my conscience. And there are factors that you have to come to understand today. So I'm going to try to capture for you what excellence is not and I'll try to spend some time around what excellence is. Excellence is not first in class. And history, hindsight, has shown us consistently that first in class is not necessarily first in life.
That's right.
Am I talking to you?
That's right.
First in class is not necessarily first in life. And some of the people that you want to be like globally, some of the global action figures that you want to be like, did not even have the privilege of university education. Some of them did not, some of them consider university education a type of misfortune. And you need to study how they have thought for you to know that excellence has to be far more deeper than a 2-1. Excellence has to be deeper than a first class. First class you must have if you can. A 2-1 you must have if you can. But the assumption that in 2-1 lies your greatest prosperity and your greatest peace is terribly defeating and misleading. And so it's important that you come to terms with some of the big ideas running your world. You are students. We can't just dismiss the idea that you are students. As students, you can do great stuff. You know how revolutions all over the world have been shaped by young people at your age. You must lose confidence in passing the test of locality at the expense of the test of being global and the test of universality. There is a test of universality, that is where excellence is hiding. And there is a test of global, which is not what you need to really apply yourself to, yet you need to understand. And there is a test of locality that allows you to rise to your destiny. And you have to understand the different blocks that these three variables stay in, so that you don't underrate your sense of mission and your sense of thoroughness and your sense of purpose, or overrate your commitment to the things that can make you happy, get you a few attention, but cannot really strengthen your destiny or allow you space in the committee of honor of nations. Am I talking to you? Part of the assumptions, therefore, is to say, what do I need to understand? What do I need to know? Today, our realities are upside down. We live in a continent that is essentially depressed and depressing. Part of the assumptions here is that we produce what we don't consume, we consume what we don't produce. There's no economy in the world that can survive on that equation. Our begging bowl has become our critical asset for years. We receive aid more than any continent has received. We are still the world's poorest continent, telling us that a begging bowl cannot be a pathway to prosperity of any kind. And for every degree of favor that you seek, you lose a level of freedom. For over 50 years, Africa has been trading a freedom for support and for aids. No continent receives support like we receive support. But we forget that for every £1 we receive in aid, we give back 14 pounds in trade restrictions. That means that essentially we have never been helped. We have never been assisted. The idea that the best of you is outside of you keeps you weak and keeps you small. A part of what you can do is outside of you, but a lot of what you will do is inside of you, such that your prosperity has to become inside out more than outside in. When people articulate progress, when they articulate value, when they articulate development, and they forget the responsibility of the human spirit to experience its environment, to find the options that exist in it, and to know the most meaningful ones to embrace as a matter of supreme urgency and supreme importance, that society that cannot do that is small. Very small. So why are you in school? You are in school essentially to pass a very important test in life. It's called the test of academics. Academics must be put in perspective and it must be understood. There's nobody in the world that can be built by the force of academics alone. Academics is a human invention. It's a very small idea in nation building and in defining civilization that allows us to bring regulation to affairs and limit the excesses of human beings. So, essentially, I'll tell you what academics will do. Academics, for example, will let you know the difference between two people holding a knife and both of them putting it in your tummy. Two people holding a knife, both of them are going to put that knife in your tummy. One is very skillful, it's called a doctor, it's called a surgeon. The other one is not as skillful, it's just determined. Now, if all you have as a surgeon is determination, you are going to kill somebody and go to jail. Are we correct? But if you are going to be a surgeon, you have to learn something, right? You have to submit yourself to an institution that is going to train you, qualify you, and put you in a format so that the people who experience you out there, otherwise called the community, otherwise called the masses, otherwise called society, those people will be able to look at you that has been trained and you that has not been trained and be able to spot the one they should go and see when they have any pain in their body, when they have anything in their body. Academics is what allows for that discernment. It's what allows us to be able to know the difference between a quack and a professional. It's what allows us to know the difference between somebody who is determined to help you and a lawyer. It's what helps us to know the difference between somebody who can carry a ding gun and a police officer. It's what allows us to be able to put society in different blocks and to be able to know the institutions, the organizations, the personalities that we should reach out to for help. Academics works, therefore. It brings regulation. It erects standards. It qualifies those standards and then allows everybody around to choose which of those standards are important for them. And when they make that choice, they can use that importance to offer succor, direction, and inspiration and comfort for those coming after them or for those around them. That is the best that education can offer. That academics can offer. And that academics has been an instrument that have allowed what I've just described to go on for many years all over the world. But academics itself is limiting in that it denies us the opportunity and the freedom to find authentic thinking and find new experiences and new knowledge. The best way to make new mistakes is through experience. Experience is what assures us of our discomfort or our reality with new mistakes. If you are not an experienced person, your capacity for making fresh mistakes is reduced. The more experienced you are, the more endangered you are. The more experienced you become, the more you are qualified to introduce yourself to your new errors and to your new mistakes, because you are going to govern your future and govern your behavior by what you have understood. Known self, everybody say known self. Known self, therefore, becomes a very limiting factor, because the strength of experience is the capturing and the definition of your known self. Known self is a reality, but it is the duty of the human life to transcend known self, to defeat known self consistently and continue to define a new self. Therefore, circumstances are overrated. Reality is an incomplete relative. Facts are not completely true. Reality is an incomplete narrative, rather. Circumstances are overrated. Facts are not necessarily true. And what is true is not necessarily the truth. There's always a bigger picture than what your mind can see. There's something beyond the obvious. There's something your mind cannot capture. And if you lean only on the thinking of the majority, you will be misled. You have to find authentic thoughts. Those kind of thoughts that allow a field to advance and to grow and to beat a space for themselves under the sun and to earn their right to be followed and earn their right to be questioned and earn their right to be depended on. Those kind of people are not ordinary in society. Society has continued to grow. Civilization has continued to define itself because human beings take responsibility at a level. Some human minds just accept that it is their duty to accept responsibility for big ideas and for big projects. With those big projects, they've given us merchant banking. They've gone to the moon. They're preparing to go to the Mars. They've gone there. They are now preparing to go to Jupiter. Now they've gone there. They've given us merchant banking. They've given us the internet, Bluetooth technology, laser technology. They've given us the automobile. They've given us planes in the air, choppers in the air, ship on the middle of the sea. They've given us amazing tools, instruments that can help us to love better, that can help us to walk better, that can help us to war even when necessarily better. The idea is civilization has continued to grow and reinvent itself because human minds, human beings like you and I, have chosen the direction of their thinking, the kind of ideas they want to respect, the kind of complications and complexities they want to see, and their commitment to be able to meet those challenges at their level. It means that when complexity is intensified, there must be a greater and greater demand on knowledge. Unto knowledge the world is turning. Unto knowledge we must turn as a people. Your continent is becoming quickly an embarrassment. We comfort ourselves with natural resources, when in the world today, a lot of natural resources is a big disadvantage. Some of the most successful, most prosperous nations in the world are not those with natural resources. The only thing natural in Singapore is the people of Singapore. The only thing natural in Japan is the people of Japan. There's so much more that is natural in every space. But the ideas that we respect, the ideas that we respect, the ideas that we respect, the ideas that we respect are not the ones that pass the test of universality. The ideas we value are not the ones that pass even the test of being global. The ideas we respect at best are those that pass the test of locality. You must understand the embarrassment and the nuisance of limiting all that can be done to passing the test of locality. The test of locality is a blessing of some sort, but at best it's a beginning. So if you are a millionaire in Nigeria, you are big, you are a big millionaire, people respect you. You drive a good car, maybe a German car, or some kind of Rover, or some kind of foreigner, some kind of big German Mercedes or a BMW. People respect you because of the smallness of their thinking. But you have something valuable anyway, and people connect to what you have. So you can live by the beach in Lekki, for example. Travel abroad for summer. Take your kids there and feel very cool with yourself. People will give you front seat. They will give you attention. They will come around you. They will suck up to you. They will defeat their own honor to be able to celebrate your own. They will fool themselves just to acknowledge your wisdom. They will pretend about who they are just to be able to find your own meaning. In other words, they will live for you. They will die for you, even at the cost of them becoming nothing in life. And that's the character of poverty. And people are living by ideas around sycophancy, ideas around high service, ideas around slavery that keep us bound to an idea, that give us some type of success and make us feel important. So the guys that are important are not those who pass the test of importance by global standards or by universal standards. The guys who are important are those who pass the test of importance by the test of locality. So if 5 billion fools say you are wise, how wise are you? If 6 billion lunatics say you are the only normal person they know, will you rejoice? If 1 million dummies say nobody is intelligent but you, I'm sure you'll be depressed. I'm sure you'll be worried, because that would define the nuisance of popularity. Popularity is not about being known. How many people and what is the quality of those who say you are popular? The character of that popularity has to be judged, assessed, and audited before we can accept your popularity. So there's a difference now between popularity and traction. Ladies and gentlemen, a big difference between popularity and traction. And if you are not careful, all of your life has prepared you to be another guy on the horizon, to be another person on the horizon who will shine. But your shining is not because you are in the midst of so much light and you are able to get the attention that your individuality deserves. You are going to shine because of the deposit of darkness in your environment. You are going to shine because of the deposit of ignorance in your environment. You are going to become a quality person, not because you have passed the standards of quality, but because of the mediocrity in your environment will define your nothingness as something that will make you appear as some type of force. That will make you appear as some type of force. And that force that you have become is something that is valued in the smallness of the thinking of your environment, such that when you aggregate the quality of the minds who are observing you and showing you the respect that you receive, you find out that you are just a local champion with some kind of crown in the land of the blind, essentially fitted in the head of a one-eyed king in the land of the blind. And in that land of the blind, you feel so special and so cool. Girls give you their attention. You get the best girls in school, not because you are anything of quality, but because their ignorance gives you a seat and give you a crown that make you appear so special and so cool. It's the same reason where your business leaders who are millionaires at 300 million naira, you have a lot of money, you can afford anything. You can travel anywhere in the world. At 500 million naira, you probably can afford the lifestyle of Bill Gates. You are equal by the choices of your purchasing power, but you are still different in excellence and value. Now the weakness of your environment can give you awesome attention because you have passed the test of locality. You are a millionaire. Once converted to pounds, though, you become 1,000-aire. So you were never a millionaire, really. The ignorance of your environment, the weak standards of your environment enthroned you as some type of millionaire that Nigerians can understand, but the British cannot understand, the Americans cannot understand. And your red carpet, 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 and not the kind of carpet that you receive because you deserve it, because that red carpet has passed the test of locality. Once you step into Heathrow, nobody knew that you came, how much more that you are living. Once you step into New York JF Kennedy Airport, for example, nobody knows that you came, how much more that you left. The moment you return back to the land of the blind, you are celebrated in front, you are given all the attention. Young people observe you, they want to be like you. Because essentially, corruption does not have a classroom. Corruption has no classroom, it only uses modeling. Everything positive must be taught. Foolishness just needs to be experienced and observed. Any fool can show value. You don't need formal training to pose. You don't need formal training to sag. You don't need formal training to make your arms this way or that way, and to talk this way and that way, and to feel cool and oppress small minds who are around you. Any fool can be handsome. We now have handsome fools. We have pretty empty minds. Listen up. Listen up. Listen up. We have 6 foot tall, broad-chested drifters. We have people with all the artificial hair and an artificial mind that keeps them as Africans with a black skin, but a deceived mind in their mind, lost in civilization, lost in westernization and urbanization. Fools who can interpret everything but their own character. You find people who can stay true to a wife, but can stay true to a barber. They understand fidelity enough to stay true to a designer, to stay committed to one type of designer, to stay committed to one barber. Those are principles of fidelity, but they cannot stay committed to a wife or to a husband. It depresses me to come to Unilag every time. My wife's school here. When I was coming to greet my wife at the halls, I find men with the biggest cars in Moremi Hall, with the biggest cars, with the biggest machine anybody can ever have. I'm alarmed that this is the nuisance value of success. What is nuisance value? The value of an idea, the contribution of an entity, whether a person, a system, a structure, an idea, or a thought, or an institution, or an organization, or a family, or a nation. Nuisance value is the value of any entity, the value of an entity's contribution to the underdevelopment, disorderliness, and irritation of society. And every day, people communicate with nuisance value with pride. People communicate nuisance value with swag. I've now seen something like confident ignorance. That means assertive ignorance. You know nothing, but you are not aware. And all of what makes you feel cool are cool because of the deposit of distraction, the deposit of ignorance, the deposit of mediocrity in your environment defines you as a type of force. You want to be a millionaire? Don't work one more day. Don't even graduate. Just find 5,000 naira. Find your way to Zimbabwe. Once you land in Zimbabwe, you become a billionaire instantly. Everybody in Zimbabwe, listen, everybody in Zimbabwe is a billionaire. Everybody in Zimbabwe, you will be eating a loaf of bread for $4 million. 4 million Zimbabwean dollars. Only you. Only you. Only you. You'll be giving tips. 2 million Zimbabwean dollars. Tip. You'll be taking a cab. 5 million Zimbabwean dollars. Only you. For a moment, you'll be deceived that you have succeeded. You'll be deceived that you must be a millionaire. You probably call your family and say, I've made it and I didn't know. I go to Zimbabwe and I'm doling out millions, except that from the fool to the wise, from the lowest to the highest, from the carpenter to the judge, from the servant to the CEO, everybody in Zimbabwe is a millionaire. They are millionaires not by the test of value, not by the test of excellence. They are millionaires by the weakness and the shame of mediocrity. They are millionaires because of the fallen standards that embrace that country and hung to his throat like a lion and is ready to suffocate it. Ladies and gentlemen, the next colonization will be voluntary. Nations of their own accord are going to submit themselves to other nations. Whether you like it or not, Nigeria is screaming made in Nigeria. Nigeria is screaming local. Nigeria is screaming do something locally. China has graduated from made in China to make in China. India is no longer advertising made in India. Go online, go and watch CNN. What is India advertising? Make in India. Because make in India gives you the capacity to create, to invent from 0 to 1. Made in India allows you to improve from 1 to infinity. There's a big difference between vertical thinking and horizontal thinking. When you think vertically, you are moving from 0 to 1. That's the spirit of invention. That's the spirit of articulating newness. That's the spirit of sharing new experiences. Improving is innovation. Innovation is not what Africa needs to learn. Africa needs to learn invention. Africa needs to learn inventive capabilities. Look at Japan, ladies and gentlemen. What's Japan without Honda? What's Japan without Toyota? What's Japan without, talk to me, Panasonic, without Sony, without Hitachi? Talk to me. What's Japan without all those big products? What is Korea without Hyundai, without Kia, without LG, without Samsung? What's Germany without BMW, without Opel, without Mercedes? Without, talk to me now, Porsche. What's Mercedes? What is Germany without Heineken? What is Germany without SAP? What's America? You can go on and on. What's France without Renault? Without, come on, Canal Plus. You can go on and on. With all the designers on the streets of Paris? What is America without Yahoo? Everybody in this room can name not just an American brand, but an American global brand. Everybody in this room. Each of us will name a brand and we will not repeat. From Pepsi to Coca-Cola to Nike to Tommy Hilfiger to Ford to Chrysler to General Motors to Facebook to Twitter, Google. We can go on and we won't stop. Every nation in front, every nation you want to travel to, every nation you want to identify with. Those are nations not with local ideas, with global ideas. Their commitment to come up with solutions, products and services that they can make available on one spot and can go global and attract purchasing power from all over the world and bring it to home in Tokyo or home in America, impacting directly on GDP and per capita income. We need those kind of contribution, not your ability to sag, not your ability to make your hair in a particular way or to do friction. I've told people again and again, the next time you are broke, don't even think too far. Test my idea. Go to the bank on Monday morning. Tell them I've been having sex since age 14. On my street, I have 16 girlfriends. On campus, I'm very popular. In every female hostel, I have a babe there. People respect me. My penis is twice the length of this microphone. When I have an erection, girls are crazy. I'm such a big gigolo. People know me for my strength. Can I have $2,000? You know what they are going to do? You know what they are going to do? If they are not too kind, they will jail you. They will jail you. If they are very kind, they will accept your imbalance and consider their friends who are very close to this place on the left side of Yaba. They will send you there for serious therapy and treatment. They will be convinced that you have lost your sense of thoroughness, you have lost your sense of meaning, you have embraced life from outside in, and something has fooled you to think container and content mean the same thing. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a big difference between container and content. When you pay for Coca-Cola, you don't pay for Coca-Cola empty bottle only. What do you pay for? Coca-Cola content. Liquid content only. The word only is very important. is to remind you that the bottle is not yours. The drink is what is yours. We own the bottle, you own the drink. This bottle is not anything fantastic. It's just a necessary instrument to contain content. Nobody can dress the container and keep it empty. When you spend more money on the container, it's because you are bringing attention to the content. Ladies and gentlemen, your body is your weakest resource. Your nose is your weakest resource. Your hair is your weakest resource. The shape of your legs and your tummy and your flat tummy and your biceps and all of that are your weakest resource. I don't care how your body looks. I don't care what statistics you have. 6 foot tall, cup 54, 13, 14, 16 statistics. You use core stay, soft stay, metal stay, diamond stay, or whatever you use, G string, F string, W string, B strings, whatever the string is, I quite frankly don't care. Listen, have a few minutes more. I quite frankly don't care whatever you put on your body. At best, they define the strength of your container. I'm not moved. Fools can be moved. When girls see you on campus, they love you because of how you look. They are small thinkers attracted to a small thinker. That is small thinking and small thinking resurrecting. That's called sympathetic. Hey. That's called sympathetic resonance. Sympathetic resonance. You connect because there is a resonating. Your weakness and a bigger weakness allows you to connect on a platform of mediocrity. It means that your audience must be a larger community of fools who don't understand the dimension of order or the standards of excellence or integrity. What is foolishness, by the way? Foolishness is not an insult. It's a state of existence. It means there is a set of behavior that conforms to a definition. It means there is a set of behavior that conforms to a definition. As you cannot call a carpenter a surgeon, and you cannot call a surgeon a poet, you can't call a foolish person a wise person, you can't call a wise person a foolish person. Most of your friends are fools. Most of your friends are distracted. They don't know what time it is. They are busy using container as the instrument of attention, forgetting that your age mates in Florida, your age mates in Silicon Valley are ruling the world. Your age mates younger than you, 2 years younger than you, 4 years younger than you, 5 years younger than you, your age mates in Beijing. Meanwhile, decisions made in Beijing can change your life tomorrow morning. Decisions made in Tokyo can change your life tomorrow morning. Decisions made in small offices and small garages in Silicon Valley is affecting your life. Go and check what happened to Facebook. Go and check how Google evolved. Go and check how Yahoo evolved. Go and check how Instagram evolved. Go and check how YouTube evolved. Do you know the guys on YouTube were your mates? You know what they did? They sold YouTube to Google for over $4 billion US. $4 billion US. What do you think? These are your age mates. Before you shine and fool people with your 2-1 and your first class, before you come here to roll up your classmates and chant them with your good shoes and your weak family name that nobody knows except the weak people in your environment, before you come to town to feel so cool with your jeans and throw up your biceps and throw up your white hair because the new six-pack is now white hair. Girls are turning crazy no matter how large your tummy is. Once you have white hair, you have a space in their heart. And that is what is given 40-something-year-olds as the new hunk on campus. 50-year-olds as the new hunks in the female hostels. Because the hunky ship of the 21st century is no longer about biceps and six-packs. It's now about white hair, white mustache, and gray hair. And all of those things get fools' attention. See, I'm not afraid to call a fool a fool. I will be stupid if I call a spoon a hole, if I call a fork a table. Therefore, a fool must be called a fool. Why? It agrees with the meaning of foolishness. Are we together? I must call a stupid person because they agree to the meaning of stupidity. What I won't do is to call them foolish to their face. What I won't do is to call them stupid to their face. But at least in the defense of my authenticity, in the defense of my peace, and in the defense of my focus and my energy, I will name them for who they are in my head, long enough to be selective about who qualifies for the investment of my time and my energy. Your life is as good as the people you share your time with. Your life and your destiny is as prosperous as the people you allow into your life. All of what you call existence is 3 things: people, places, and events. People, places, and events. What you do with the people you allow, where you met them, the events that bind you together, that's what determines your life. Friends, when death is sure, retirement is guaranteed, and you are at the departure lounge of life, the quality of your peace, the meaning of your existence, and the weight of your legacy will be proportional to what you did with those three things: people, places, and events. Listen, my goal today is to get you angry. I've chosen my words carefully to disconnect you from what you have known and from what you think is important, and begin to shift you to the real meanings in life. We're not sitting here because we wear suits. You need to see me 20 years ago. My head was... Have you seen yam in yam festival before? Have you seen a real African yam tuber? Have you seen one before? My head was shaped like that. What you see today is evidence of good living that has ensured that my skin, my flesh, and my bones come together in agreement with my status. It wasn't like that before. It wasn't like that before. My legs used to be very bold. How it became straight is a mystery of life. A level and a dimension of good in my life was able to cover some parts of the bend with flesh, such that my bone remained curved, but the flesh made it look straight. Those are very important things I don't take for granted. Ladies and gentlemen, I wasn't like this before. I should share some of my nuisance with you. I spent 12 years in a university like this, studying a 4-year course. 12 years. What does that tell you about me? Clearly, this guy couldn't have been so smart. Because if he was so smart, he wouldn't have 8 years of extra on top 4 years of university education. So I had my first 4 years. I left the school, cult activities, drug addiction. I came back after 1 year to start all over again. I did 4 years plus the first 4, making how many? 8. The school wouldn't give me a degree. They were convinced I would be in school forever. My nickname has changed from Pebbles, that they used to call me, to Methuselah. People believed I was going to be in school for the rest of my life. After another 4 years, 12 years to be precise, I got a degree, and it was a third class. When I gained admission the very first year, at the end of the first semester, I had 8 carryovers. At the end of the second semester, I had 7 carryovers. At the end of the first year, I had 15 carryovers. At the end of the second year, I had something close to that as well. By the time I was in 400 level, I wasn't in my final year, because I had about 52 carryovers. 52 carryovers. There's no way anybody in the world can graduate with such a weight. Are we together? So there was nowhere I was going. I wasn't just dealing with 52 carryovers. I was also struggling with everything from chewing gum to cocaine. I couldn't talk this way. I salivate uncontrollably. I never smoked cigarette in my life. I never drank alcohol. They were too weak for the complexity in my head. I went from marijuana up, and you know what that means. My life was turmoil. My head was consistently pounding. I had a gun. I was on campus as a cultist of a different flavor. I was popular. You know what my nickname was? They called me Pebbles. You know what Pebbles is? That's a gentleman in America called Mario Van Pebbles, known for his quality and his dressing. I spent money dressing. I could do anything, if necessary, to kill, to look the part, so that those who don't know the part can be connected to my part and give their own nuisance to me, to join my own nuisance, to build some kind of force in nuisance that everybody rallies around, yet we are all just a community of nuisance looking for who can show some type of value that nobody else can display. Listen, I continued on that journey. People like me. People went to hell. People were derailed trying to connect to me. It was such an inspiring thought to imagine the kind of influence that we so carefully, constructively, and skillfully in evil displayed consistently. For some reason, in my final year, I was asked to leave the school. I left. 1 year after I left, something happened to me. And I would have loved to tell you I read the book. I would have loved to tell you that Shango came to anoint me. I would have loved to tell you that I went to a mosque and I found hope there. This is not to embarrass any other faith or to pull down any other religion. I'm talking about what happened to me. If it was Muhammad that happened to me, I would say it proudly. If it was Shango that happened to me, I would say it proudly. If it was Obatala that happened to me or Amadura, I would say it proudly. What happened to me was that I gave my life to Christ. 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 I gave my life to Christ in a room, alone. And the only way I can describe what happened to me from that point was that I went mad. By that madness, I'm turning my world upside down. Whatever you think I'm doing that you respect, you know what I'm doing now? I just woke up. I'm still yawning. I have big stuff to do. When I'm leaving this world, the world will know that somebody came. I'm not going to join the list of people who come and go. Nobody knew they came. How much more that they left? I'm going to leave something here. I'm going to die one day. I look forward to dying one day. What I know is that I won't die now. What is clear is that one day I will die. If death is sure, what kind of persons ought we to be? Shouldn't we at least prepare for it and order our lives in such a way that we will not be shocked that we are dying? We will be looking back and saying, we did it. We did it. We did it. That's how greatness behaves, ladies and gentlemen. I want to challenge you today to take a second look at your life. I reorganized my life. I started all over again. Same school. After 4 years, after leaving, I came back to the same school, same faculty, same course, same lecturers, children for classmates. And I did another 4 years, making 8. The school won't give me a degree again. They didn't believe in my transformation. I started the 3rd time. I did 100 level 3 times, same school. I did 200 level 3 times, 300 level 3 times, 400 level 3 times. I spent 12 years studying a 4-year course. And you should have expected I should be given a PhD after 12 years. You know what I got? A 3rd class. And with that 3rd class, I journeyed on. Ladies and gentlemen, within that period, my first business after returning to school, and I've made up my mind that for the rest of my life, having come this far and I've been spared, I will live the rest of my life grateful. I will live the rest of my life convincing you guys that life is bigger than a penis. Life is bigger than clothes in your wardrobe. Life is bigger, far, far bigger than your baths, than all the attention you can ever receive, than all the money you can ever put in your pocket. At a level of success, if you really have it, you will find out that success has no meaning if it's not unlocking gratitude in society. You won't know now because you don't have it yet. It's those who have nothing that make noise the most. They have nothing else to show. When people meet me, they don't care what kind of car I drive. They don't care where I live. They care what I say. They care what I know. Something big is happening in my life. It's too big for them to see any other thing. Nobody goes to interview Bill Gates about the house he just bought, about the cars he's driving. You don't know those people. You don't know what they drive. All you know is their impact and what they are doing with money. You know the people that we know about their shoes, the people we know about their suits, the people we know about their clothes, about their cars, about their houses, the Hollywood stars, the Nollywood stars, those in the music industry. So the average Nigerian youth can tell you about all the lyrics of D'banj. He can explain everything about Nice. He can analyze all the dance steps in town. He can tell you everything about entertainment. Then if he's not doing that, he will argue and make an enemy, arguing between who is better, what team plays better, between Chelsea and Man U, between Barcelona and some Real Madrid. These are people who will never know that you exist. They are not aware that your name is Fatai or Ajayi or Kunle or whatever your name is. You are just a local champion finding comfort in hiding your inferiority complex by denying that sports is not happening in your country because it is happening here. There are football teams here you will never know. There are teams all over Africa you will never know. But your complex tells you that when you know about Chelsea, you get attention among higher small minds, who value you for your nothingness and you value for their nothingness. Ladies and gentlemen, some people, ladies and gentlemen, I need to go. Ladies and gentlemen, some people are so poor, all they have is money. Some people are so poor, all they have is money. When you look at them, there's nothing else to talk about really, apart from their clothes, apart from their car, because once you remove that, they have nothing else to offer. That's all they use to get all their attention. That's all they use. What kind of car does Bill Gates drive? You don't know. You don't know. You don't know what kind of car he drives. GQ can never try to go and interview Warren Buffett. They won't get the appointment. They can't try to interview Bill Gates. They won't get the appointment. They won't get those kind of appointments. You know the appointment they will get? They will get the appointment trying to see what that new guy in Hollywood, Jay-Z, is wearing. They want to see what... You know what red carpet does? It's an intentional idea to celebrate your materials. Ladies and gentlemen, as I close, I call you to a bigger life. I've seen that life. I remind myself of that life every day. I would never tell you to be excellent because of what you can have. I will tell you to be excellent because of how you can think. Because when you think right and you order the strength of your character, it's not only people who see you. You know why people don't know us globally? You know why they don't know us globally? They don't know us globally because what we use to get attention must be seen and must be touched. We focus on tangible ideas, not intangible ideas. And when that's all you have, how many people can possibly see you among several billion people? The people in your neighborhood, definitely. The people in your country. If you want the world to see you, you have to embrace virtual ideas. You have to embrace intangible qualities. What's the address of wisdom? What kind of car does understanding drive? What's the color of prudence? Who can tell me the kind of shoes that savings wear? Who can tell me the address of empathy? What kind of swag does support show? These are things you cannot see. These are things you cannot touch. These are things you cannot assess, but they are real. And guess what? They are making a difference between you and the guy that will master your life, that will tell you what to do for the rest of your life. Change the equation, ladies and gentlemen. Look at something different. Don't ever try. I know there are so many people out there who try to convince you that the best of you is in what you can own, what you can drive. Ownership of private property is a weakness. You know why they fumble in Aso Rock? They fumble in Aso Rock, and I'm advising at that level. Well, take that out of my mouth. But you know why they are fumbling in Aso Rock every time from government to government? They fumble because they want to offer stewardship of public property. A small idea. They want to offer that when they miss a bigger idea. Stewardship of private property. Stewardship of private property must precede stewardship of public property. When people cannot be stewards of what they own, one thing that they own, how can they be stewards of what we own? If somebody cannot manage and show respect to one driver, he cannot show respect to one artisan, to one house help, he cannot give domestic assistance the respect that individuality deserves, and manage them and pay them the resources they deserve. Listen to me. Any salary anybody receives that cannot allow them to do three things: to save, basically, to handle their necessities, their needs, and to give to their areas of influence. Any income that cannot do that is a type of slavery. Some kind of hybrid or pseudo kind of income of some sort, or pseudo slavery. But the idea is people receive 15K and you want them to respect your children and you want them to value around you. Your parents pay house helps 7.5 and you want that person to be excited and to be at peace and to be secured in his destiny. He's not going to do that. Every human being is built to desire more, to desire something higher, to seek recognition. to accept that it can communicate value. When you deny people those kind of resources, you know what's going to happen? It has a lifespan. At some point, they begin to kidnap you. At some point, they begin to exchange your children for money in some other country. The idea is, the value you don't give me, I will have to give myself. It creates nuisance. It creates vices. It keeps society small and defeats all of us. Guess what? When we now arrest them, we send them to jail. Everybody going to jail is a representative of a larger constituency, of which their parents are one. But when somebody is going to jail, he goes alone. But he's representing so many people. The ignorance of the adults of his life. Those are the people he's representing. He's going to jail, and guess what? They made him, they invented him. He's not going to jail. Guess what? They will be the same ones to come and say, how did you get yourself here? You have messed up our name. How did you become like this? Who did you look like? How did you pick this after? And they say all of those things to communicate again and again the wretchedness of society and the wretchedness of the human mind. We can lift ourselves higher. Higher, guys. Higher. Let nobody put their mouth on your breast. You are not a mom. You don't have kids. You don't need to breastfeed anybody. You need to respect your body more and begin to give your dignity the attention it deserves. 1,000,000 hands under a blouse will not restore your dignity. It will take from you. You have been reduced, but you don't know. Pleasure is an incredible instrument that has the capacity to get you happy and also to withdraw from your value. Ladies and gentlemen, these are choices you are going to make. The vast majority of people in Unilag will not understand what we are saying today. But who needs a bunch of keys to open a door? Nobody. How many keys do you need? One key. We don't need everybody thinking straight. Somebody has to be foolish for wisdom to have value. We don't need everybody getting it right. We just need few people who can sit down, who can think, who can accept new responsibility. So, I tell you, pass the test of universality. Think bigger. Defeat your history. Accept new ideas. Say that you can go forward. Think of big things. If you are in the science department, machine thinking. Go and study machine thinking. Machine thinking. If you are in the arts, think about how everybody can buy into what you have in a way society can be grateful for. Give us our own brands that the Japanese can buy, that the Americans can buy, that the Indians can buy, that everybody in the world can nest in. Find those kind of ideas. You are the students. You are the hope in every community. It's only in Nigeria, in Africa, that you are endangered. But if the government refuses to protect you, protect yourself with your own choices, with your habits. I've not come this far because government have helped me. I've come this far because I've decided that for the rest of my life, this hand, this brain, under God, will take me as far as I need to go. I welcome you to a new world, a world of difference, a world of superior thinking, a world of great value, a world of intentional thinking, a world of great quality, a world of great meaning, a world of intentional photographing of the future. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, remain standing. Let me leave you with this. Remain standing. Let me leave you with this. Let me leave you with this. Even if you fail the standards of academics, pass the standards of education. That's what I started with. That's what I will close with. Education is not academics. Academics is what you are taught. Education is what you teach yourself. Education is the ability of the human spirit to experience its environment, to question it deep enough, to find the options that exist in it, and to know the ones to embrace as a matter of supreme importance and supreme urgency, in a way society can be grateful for. I'll say it again. Education is the ability of the human spirit to experience its environment, to question it deep enough, to find the options that exist in it, and to know the most meaningful ones to embrace as a matter of supreme importance and supreme urgency, in a way society can be grateful for. That's excellence, ladies and gentlemen. That's the strength of universality. Hold on to that. Judge everything you do by that standard. Ask yourself, this girl I want to date, how will she lead me to unlock gratitude in society? This boy I want to date, how will he lead me to my greatness. This course I want to study. This business I want to start. We don't need successful people anymore. We need passionate people, great souls that can connect and change our environment for good. Rally around this idea. When today is done, ask the organizers, ask the ushers, what can I do? How can I be part of this group? How can I be part of this community? What do I need to do? Get out of your comfort zones. All of the communities you have around you are weak. They've not helped you. They've not done anything to you. Ask to join yourself to big minds that are going somewhere. It takes a lot for us to come here today, you know. It takes a lot of money for us to come here today, you know. We can live our life and forget you. We can choose not to see you. But we've decided that our life will count through you because you will count. Make up your mind also and accept that you are being taught to teach. You have been comforted to comfort. You have been inspired to be an inspiration. You have been built to build. You have been assisted now for you to assist. You have been given a lot so that you can give your world so much. That's all I will say. I hope it makes sense to you. I've said a billion things in a few sentences, but God help you from today as you choose also to help yourself. Have a wonderful day. Stay here. Before you go, remember, we have a panel session. Take it all in. Few things are as terrible as half-truth. Don't go until you complete all of what we have to offer. Stay behind. Stay behind. Soak yourself in. Forget the distraction. You'll be tempted to go. Stay around. Hang in there until they finish everything here so that you can have a complete book and you can live away with so much quality in your life. Very soon, I will see you. Where I will see you will not be ordinary. I will meet you as we are both on our way to give a speech at the White House. I will meet you at the lobby of Sheraton Hotel as we wait to grant interview to Time Magazine and Newsweek. We will meet somewhere. We are going to negotiate the acquisition of Boeing and convert it from Boeing to Kunle 2.0 or to Ajayi 4.1. We are going to meet in a meeting where we are negotiating the purchase of Toyota and change his name from Toyota to Ibrahim or something. The idea is you will be great and we'll meet there. God bless you.